a military brat, as they say. I grew up in a bunch of different places, but mostly I spent most of my childhood in Alaska. And I think one of the things that sort of set my developmental growth apart from most people is that I never went to school. I actually only spent 2 years of my entire life in formal education. I moved to Boston when I was 16 in like 2000 or 1999. I lived here for about 8 or 9 years. Then I moved to New York, and then I was in the Northwest, and I just came back to Boston about 2 years ago. And I heard about the gallery. I've actually ridden by the gallery a few times and never really came in once, maybe Open Studios, Cambridge Open Studios or something. Whenever you push the limits, at some point you realize where the limits are. And so the last piece, it was a sculptural piece of this gazelle, and the horns of the sculpture, I decided needed to be gold. And my first thought was to paint them gold, and then a friend of mine really was like, no, like they really need to be gold. Like you should gild them. And I was like, yeah, you're right. They really should be gilded. I've never gilded before. How do I gild? What is gilding? What are the tools that you need? And so when I started, it was a total disaster. I mean, it was a total failure. And I had to learn very quickly and adapt very quickly to be able to eventually be able to do it. And it turned out okay. I'm working with visual language, written language. I'm working with undeciphered scripts. So there's 4 scripts that I'm working with right now. One of them is the Epi-Olmec script, which is the script of one of the scripts of the Olmec, which were before the Mayan civilization in Mesoamerica. I'm working with Rongo Rongo, which is the script from Easter Island, which is an interesting one because it's very, as far as ancient undeciphered scripts go, it's very recent. The writing is as recent as the 17th century. The Voynich manuscript, the script from that, which is questionable as to what exactly that is. And then the Indus River Valley civilization script. So I'm working with those 4 scripts, and it's sort of a process of it's just taking a phrase from those written scripts and just sort of memorizing it and writing it over and over and over again to a point where I get really comfortable with it. And then distorting the script, and then like expanding out the script and sort of playing with it visually to see to whatever point I can get that, and then to represent those visual images of the language in some way.